Egypt's presidential vote comes amid criticism over what many consider as a slow candidate election. President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi has virtually faced no threat as he is the only key candidate running for re-election. Despite his guaranteed victory, Sisi has to be worried. After all, the army general turned politician has presided over a crackdown that's left thousands of people dead since 2013, when he seized power following a coup against former President Mohamed Morsi. He has imprisoned tens of thousands more and made the use of torture routine. Sisi has also stifled freedom of speech. All this he has done under the pretext of fighting terrorism. The election in which he is the winner is seen as a sham marked by arrests, intimidation and fear amid a deafening silence on the part of the West.
In the matter of fact, we have to realize that Sisi, after his military coup, was the army candidate to steal power and rule Egypt. And all what we can see about the presidential or the so-called presidential election, it's a show-off for the outside world, but it is known previously that Sisi will be a president for the second term and for third term and fourth term. This is in violation of the constitution.
The Egyptian strongman's foreign policy has been a bizarre mixture of prudent and imprudent moves. Sisi has wisely stayed out of a conflict which has already sucked Egypt's Arab peers into the vortex it has created, Syria. Sisi has sort of tactically supported the Syrian government's fight on militant groups, which have spawned offshoots across the region, with one wreaking havoc in Egyptian Sinai Peninsula. He has also improved Egyptians' relationship with Russia. But his giving in to Saudi Arabia's call for taking over Egypt's two islands of Tiran and Sanafir has drawn condemnation at home, with critics accusing him of giving away Egyptian territory. Meanwhile, Sisi is accused of being weak in the face of US President Donald Trump.
As for the foreign policy, again, we can see that Egypt is following client states to the Zio-American alliance. Its policy is just following the dictates of Donald Trump. And we can see what the Egyptian consider to be treason by giving up our sovereignty on the two islands in the Red Sea of Tiran and Sanafir to Saudi Arabia. These two islands are Egyptian since the start of history, before the world hear even about the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, which was established in 1932. But Sisi's regime gave the sovereignty and the control and the ownership of Egypt, of these two strategic islands, to Saudi Arabia.
The Egyptian president's most important challenge is known to be legitimacy. In this regard, he is facing a crisis at home. He has already alienated a huge part of Egypt's population, namely the supporters of Muslim Brotherhood. Some other political groups are also angry with him over his crackdown on dissent. The 2013 coup in Egypt has been described by many as a vendetta that Sisi exacted on Egyptians who brought down former President Hosni Mubarak back in 2011 and chagrined the army. Sisi was Morsi's defense minister when he staged the coup. Some observers believe the unpopular president may be able to hold on to power through strong arm tactics for a long time. But this will not bring him legitimacy for him, nor will foreign governments with which he is trying to make friends be able to save him if the dissent snowballs into another revolution in Egypt.
There is no doubt that the parliament pick chosen by Sisi and his intelligence service will change the constitution to allow Sisi to stay in power. there is no military ruler who led a coup d'etat, left office through the ballot box. So anyone who thinks that the ballot box will remove Sisi is dreaming and lives in a cuckoo land.